Hello, everybody. Welcome back from our break. Today we are playing Icebox for this next map, and we're already writing the agent select, so we'll go ahead and go right into our preview here. You can check it out here. We have A5 starting defenders on Icebox, and the Kings of Juhrama starting attackers. Michael, go ahead and just give our viewers a little pre-game sesh here.
All right. We see A5 going for the Reyna immediately. We know Frosty's probably just going to lock that every game of the series. Alice deciding to come off the Omen for the Astra, maybe a little bit of an interesting choice, especially with how strong Omen is known to be on Icebox. We also know that the Astra is also relatively strong, so definitely an interesting choice to see. Clinical deciding to go for the Jet instead of the Sova that he's normally, is very typically been on. Probably covering for the fact that experience dropping the Rays and going for the Viper on this map. So a very different composition out of A5. Artemis, normally their Killjoy player, deciding to go for the Sage, a very, very strong agent, possibly the strongest agent on the map. So definitely very interesting to see. King Juhrama going for the Sage himself. So a very interesting choice. Definitely not very normal for the Kings.
Select your
Maui
agent.
maybe picking up that Omen to compensate. Ironhide potentially going for this Cypher. Big Shot, going for that rain as he normally does. I don't think we'll see Draken go for the Yor, but perhaps he will. He locks it in. Ironhide locking in the Cypher. Very interesting composition for the Kings. And very, very, big differences from what they normally have gone for. King Drama normally playing their smokes, and Maui normally playing that Sentinel, but deciding to swap it up so the King can play that Sage. Once again, a very, very strong character. An interesting Cypher choice out of Ironhide. Um, Not my personal choice for best Sentinels on the map. I do, personally think Killjoy may be a little bit better, but if Ironhide's more comfortable in Sentinel, I definitely understand if he wants to go for that Cypher. Definitely some interesting choices out of both teams, going for some very unusual compositions on this map. A very unusual map in general that, leads to a lot of these very different compositions for both teams. So definitely very interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is like, I mean, like you said, a bizarre composition a little bit from both teams. I think probably more so coming from A5 experience and Alice playing agents that I personally have never really seen them play before. So I'd like to see how it, like, if they have a lot of experience in this or not. And I think it'll definitely show in their gameplay. So I'm excited to see this map for sure.
So we see Experienced immediately going for the one-way on a main, which is, a well-known one-way, a pretty important one. I believe Artemis used the Sage Wall in B main, a little bit deep B main, so kind of an interesting choice, not a very typical
Plant the
one.
spike.
Big Shot, hearing Clinical having to use the dash immediately. Frosty getting the pick on King Juhrama. Pretty important kill on that Sage. Draken pushing up into Kitchen. Maybe going to make contact with Allison playing underpass here. Experience walking up into Kitchen. Maybe deciding to walk into the smoke, which would definitely be an interesting choice. Looks like the Kings are leaning pretty heavily towards this mid play. Big Shot probably going to pick off Alice, and Draken picking off Artemis, giving him full B-side control, it seems. Ironhide lurking out and picking off Experience, leaving this in a 4v2. Now, it is Frosty. He can definitely win this. We've seen him win absolutely incredible rounds with his Ghost before, especially on this Reyna, and we'll see what he's able to do. But he smoked off. Clinical with a kill on Ironhide in Kitchen with a Deagle headshot, leaving him down to 22 HP, leaving him in a 3v2. Frosty, once again, isolated off, and Snowman. Now they're coming together as a group. Maui getting damaged a little bit, but they know where both of them are now. Big Shot picking off Clinical. Big Shot just needs to hide here. Draken giving up the kill. Maui getting the nice trade on Frosty, using that Omen Flash excellently to deny him any chance of winning the round.
Yeah, and this was very well played from TKJ. They played pretty slow. Eventually, they pushed as a team down tube, and they got the picks. As you can see, they had Ironhide just chilling in that corner, making sure if anyone was still outside of Kitchen to deny the push. And right there in the end, Frosty could have had that clutch, but Maui with a really good flash and getting a trade immediately. So it was just good stuff coming from TKJ all around.
Continuing their good form from the previous map, it looks like they're going to lean pretty heavily towards B. Going to run into Alice here on the Astra, who, I have to look at the guns, has a classic alone. Artemis coming to help support, but in this 4v2 against these SMGs, it doesn't seem particularly likely that A5 has a good chance of winning this round.
Oh, but Draken taken out by the right click by Alice. Now on a Spectre, dinks Ironhide, but nothing more. And now it's A5, just the three members left of A5. And but Artemis being able to stop Juhrama, and now it's a 3v3. Frosty being taken out by Big Shot, making this a huge kill.
Clinical taking Big Shot low, but Big Shot dropping back into Kitchen. Both Big Shot and Ironhide are relatively low in this round. Big Shot deciding to just walk out and give up a free kill to Artemis with a deagle, leaving it down in 2v2 situation with Ironhide low. This is definitely a winnable situation. Artemis with another kill.
Last player
Maui with the kill.
Artemis whiffing.
And Maui cleaning it up in that 1v2 situation. Almost a complete throw out of the Kings, but pulling it together at the end. Maui with a nice 1v2 clutch, holding it together for them, securing that anti-eco. But A5 is really, really happy with how many kills they got on that round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're A5, you are definitely very happy with the amount of kills you got there. Artemis showing up with those deagle kills, getting almost killing Maui there. Unfortunately, getting a little bit of a whiff there, but she played that very well, playing with Clinical on that, and that was just pretty well done for a save.
It's really important that, you know, A5, the Sage getting those kills so critical because how strong that res is. And now it seems like there's a lot of tension in mid. Draken using the flash and getting picked off one-on-one versus Frosty, and then immediately swinging and killing the King. Maui left in a 1v5 situation so quickly into the round.
Oh, Maui getting the flash onto Frosty and gets the pick 1v4. If I'm in his position and probably just looking for some exit frags, getting another kill onto Alice. Gonna TP out, get into tube, and you know, they hear him, they know where he is, and so he's gonna have to just play for exits here. Gets the kill onto Clinical, but Experience is there to trade him off. And you know, Maui, speaking of saves, made that very close and just took out 3 members right there.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible for him. You know, if you're the Kings, you know, maybe you didn't win the round, you didn't even get bombed down, but you just got 3 kills at the end of that round with that SMG, and you're gonna be thinking like, oh, you know, we win this round. They're completely dead on money, but looks like TKJ's money maybe isn't that great either. I don't know if how much they invested into the previous round. Maybe not having that much money. So A5 maybe a little bit weak on the money, but the Kings are looking like they're gonna have to go for this save. A5 deciding to push a little bit into A main here, but it seems like the Kings are leaning heavily towards B. They're gonna be instantly flanked, but if the Kings can get bombed down and then hold this flank, it'll be a very, very strong round for them. And Alice immediately getting picked off by Big Shot, also giving up a rifle. And while they maybe don't know that they're getting double flanked here, it is a 5v4 situation with bomb coming down very shortly.
Yeah, and Artemis and Clinical here with knives, updrafting over the smoke. Artemis fighting in that kill onto Big Shot, huge. And now they're just waiting for their flankers to come in a little faster, and so we can get that bomb defused. They know that there's one yellow, and they're trying to just, but Juhrama and Draken taking out the 2 flankers, and now it's all down to Clinical.
Calling this 1v4 situation with those knives, getting that kill, using the dash a little bit, unfortunately. Only run out of knives. Just gonna try to stick it. King Juhrama killing Clinical with that deke through the smoke. A really nice round out of the Kings, completely destroying A5's economy. And honestly, if you're the Kings, or if you're supporting the Kings there, you're really happy with how that round played out. Just handled the flank really well. Draken with those, you know, great ghost headshots on the flankers.
Yeah, Draken and Juhrama just doing numbers right there on the flank. They were able to push through, get some kills with the flashes, and then post plant, holding the flank perfectly, and they just denied any extra credit that A5 could have had.
How the Cypher, you know, trip is being used, Cypher trip plus camera. Alice is gonna push up in the smoke here. Maybe we'll see what Ironhide does. Hopefully he doesn't push through the smoke and give up a 1v1. Frosty playing under with this shorty, unfortunately sealed off by the wall. Clinical maybe peeking out a little bit, but not able to get anything.
I know exactly.
Oh, and the flash coming from Draken, being able to flash 2 members of A5, and
great job.
The Kings of Juhrama coming out of this with 1 death, losing 1 gun, but like, I mean, that was just, I mean, it was a save round coming from A5, so A5 being able to get 1 frag with classics, I guess, is definitely good. But the Kings of Juhrama not letting them get anything more than just 1 kill.
The Kings' money, it's just, you know, they're swimming in money. They'll have a couple rounds with the buys, potentially, you know, 2 or 3, and that's not even including the fact that they win. And they have the Yoru ult this round. Yoru ult combined with the Reyna ult. It looks like they're gonna head towards A. Probably gonna pop this Yoru ult relatively quickly.
Yeah, and like right there,
Yeah,
he's setting the
there it is.
TP and takes out the ult, and he's gonna scout for information, clearing all the corners. Doesn't see anybody right there. He sees Alice right there in the back. Gets out of the ult. Juhrama getting the kill onto Alice, getting that flash onto Artemis. Oh, Clinical getting the op shot from Heaven. And now it's just Juhrama and Maui getting the res onto Ironhide. Ooh, but Juhrama with the tap onto Clinical on the rafters. But are they aware that there's still one more flank? And, you know, Frosty could have a huge flank right here, getting the kill onto Ironhide. 2v2.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
but Frosty
Winning the
whiffing.
1v1. And then Juhrama with the 4K killing Alice.
Ooh.
You know, taking control of that round, playing absolutely incredibly, using that res, using those heals, using that wall excellently, playing around the angle, knowing that Alice was going to peek around it, getting that 1v1 at the very end there. Unfortunately for Frosty, that flank didn't really pay off, only getting that one kill, and then, you know, unfortunately missing that shot on Juhrama, who immediately gets the trade, you know, immediately gets the kill back, then winning that final gunfight against Alice. Absolutely incredible stuff out of the King himself.
Yeah, they played it really well. They got into a little bit of a disadvantage, but they made it work. They got trades and you know, being able to catch that flank pretty quick after getting the kill on Ironhide was just good. And looks like they're gonna be working mid this round. Draken already getting deep into orange with his TP. Maui getting 2 easy frags immediately. Ironhide clearing out the B main. Full B control pretty much, and just wiping out the 2 remaining A5 members, Alice and Experience from mid. Wow, and that was a really quick round.
A lot of these rounds happen actually very, very quick, and I think part of that's just, you know, Icebox generally lends itself to very explosive, quick, you know, lots of gunfights very quickly in the rounds, ending relatively quickly. But I really like what the Kings are doing. They're just going mid, and they're almost exploiting this weakness where it seems like A5 doesn't really know how to handle what's going on in mid. They're leaving Frosty solo on B, but, you know, they just go A and mid every round, and it seems like A5's not really handling it particularly well.
Yeah, Frosty holding the little off angle. They see his feet, I believe, and they know he's there. He gets the heal up, gets another frag onto Big Shot, but Juhrama being able to trade out Frosty 1 for 2, and but it looks like A5 taking out Draken, pushing up mid, and now it's a 2v4. It is a Maui and Juhrama. We've seen these 2 players do miracles before, and perhaps they can do it again here.
We really don't want to see for A5 is giving up a kill to Juhrama, who is, I believe, 1 ult orb off of his res, and if he gets that ult orb, you know, off a kill, he can really turn the situation quickly from a 4v2 into a 3v3.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of just crossing from mid here, making that TP over to towards A, but I think they know that A5 has probably rotated by now, although A5 still making 2 and 2. Alice kind of just watching mid and gonna ready to support Experience at any time. And
30 seconds left.
and they're just heading back to B, getting ready for Clinical and Artemis. They're gonna be smoking off Snowman, I believe. The Clinical here with the knives. Updrafts for the plant. Misses the right click. Artemis getting the kill though. All down to Juhrama. Juhrama trading out Artemis.
He's gonna
And he
res
does have a
Big Shot
res.
with Rifle. Clinical's on low HP. It's a 2v3 situation, but it's winnable.
Yeah, he's just spamming through the smoke. Clinical getting the pick onto him. Big Shot getting the pick onto Alice. Hiding in the corner. Experience is running at him. Gets a headshot onto Big Shot. And that is a round for A5.
Yeah, definitely a really close round. Clinical, unfortunately, missing those knives hidden knife plan. Drama getting the kill on Artemis and getting that res off, but unfortunately not quite enough. Not able to deny that planter immediately, meaning Big Shot has to push onto site. And then they just are able to quickly convert that 2v1 against Big Shot. Experience just running in with a rifle, knowing exactly where Big Shot is. You know, giving that second round a really, really important round for A5, obviously. You know, wanting to get some momentum on the board, and it seems like A5 is leaning pretty heavily towards A on this round, playing 3 here, putting Frosty here, and with his Viper, you know, it could be a very quick, explosive round on A, but it looks like the Kings just want to play a slow default.
Oh, Clinical missing his shot onto Big Shot, and massive punish. Draken as well getting a pick onto Alice, but the Viper all coming out, taking out Big Shot, and now this is going to be just a big blockage onto A. But as you can see on the mini map on the left side, it's only Artemis protecting B, and she's being surrounded by TKJ members from both sides. She's hiding in this corner, doesn't check, and then Maui just takes her out, and it's a free B site. Last two members of A5 are on A, and unfortunately for this Viper ult is not going to do anything. They're going to have to leave.
And it seems like A5, you know, maybe still going for it. I know Frosty will absolutely, you know, absolutely go for these gunfights if they give them to him. But in this 2v4 situation, A5 might want to just consider saving. They're probably not going to, but the Kings here are in a really strong position. They have Omen smokes, they have wall down, they have Draken pushing up into Tube, who's probably, you know, maybe gonna fight Experience right here.
Last player standing.
Frosty picking up Maui, but Juhrama trading it really excellently. Experience not able to get that kill on Juhrama, and that's a 7th round for the Kings.
Yeah, Kings, I mean, showing up, showing their dominance that they have all season. You know, I think they're just carrying that momentum over that they caught in the second half of Ascent, bringing it over to Icebox. Ironhide with the good utility coming from Cypher, and I mean, Juhrama as a Sage, he's just doing a lot here. And I think one notable thing as well is that I would quickly mention is that Draken, I mean, all of his TPs are making so much space that it's just almost impossible for A5 to even catch a break. They keep on having him like in between them, and it's just hard for them to handle it.
Definitely, and here we see A5 go back to this, you know, more default setup they have. Clinical is pushing into A main and immediately dies to Big Shot. That's probably going to be a free A site. Using that Viper, well, maybe able to stall, but once that goes down, in this 5v4 situation, they probably just want to pop onto A.
Yeah, and they're waiting for this Viper wall to go down. They hear it's losing its integrity here. So waiting a little bit more. Wall goes down, be able to push through with these flashes. Yeah, they go ahead and flash back right side as well. Draken B TPing onto A site with them. Big Shot here with 2 kills, taking out Alice and Experience, getting ready for the 4th. And takes out Artemis, looking for the ace possibly, and now is all down to Frosty. Frosty sees one member in mid.
It has the Sheriff. It's gonna get flashed. I think they want to give Big Shot the ace here if they give it to him.
Yeah.
And they give it to him.
Big Shot with a huge ace. Obviously, this is pretty much a half buy coming from A5, but you know, it has to feel good just to be able to get that, and you know, it boosts morale for sure on TKJ side.
I honestly don't really like what A5 has been doing on a lot of these rounds. You know, playing very greedy and aggressive. You know, Clinical pushing up into A main, giving up that early pick, even though it's a save round. You know, it's not the most valuable push that he could be making, and then Frosty popping that ult in the 2v5 with a Sheriff just seems very ambitious. And you know, while he's very capable of winning those rounds, it seems, you know, that ult might have been best used elsewhere.
Yeah, that definitely agreed. I think A5 is playing a little greedy. Clinical, although, is waiting for Maui to peek here, gets the peek from him, misses the shot though. And Ironhide taking out Frosty though. TKJ ready to push B. I mean, as you can see on the minimap, it's a free B side. They know nobody's there, and the immediate rotate coming from A5, knowing that this is really bad for them. Al's gonna try to get the Astra utility up as quickly as possible. That wall's gonna be blocking her just for a little bit, but I mean, I feel like the rest of A5 isn't rotating fast enough, and Experience being able to catch Juhrama off guard, and now it's a 3v4 in favor of A5. Oh, but Experience with the trade. Maui immediately trading that, making that a 2v2. Clinical ready for the, not ready, never mind, gets off the angle. Draken pushed up a little bit, trying to potentially block off anybody pushing. Takes out Artemis at 30 HP. It's all down to Clinical. Clinical running away. Looks like he wants to save the op. 1 HP, and now gonna go for the clutch.
And that was a really interesting round. You know, Frosty dying to Ironhide. Seems like he wants to. He's been pushing B main pretty heavily every round, giving up that early pick. Also gave up a Cypher ult. And once that Cypher ult came through, they realized, and you know, maybe they'll kind of apply this to their
Last
future round, I
round
guess
in
only
the
this
half.
round, that Frosty's playing solo on B, and they're leaning, you know, pretty much everyone else towards the side of the map that he's not on. And once he dies there, popping that Cypher ult, they realize everyone's rotating away from A. They just immediately run out, get full B site control, and there's really not much that they can do. Perhaps they were a little bit slow on the push, but the Kings basically punished the, you know, aggression that Frosty was showing.
Heading to the above.
Yeah, and I mean, looks like they're stacking pretty much 4 members on B because they realize, you know, they can't, and then all of members of TKJ here pushing Alice. They're catching through the smoke, but Big Shot getting the kill onto Alice with that op. Juhrama even getting a knife kill onto Experience, and now it's just Clinical by himself with the op.
1v5 situation with the op, you know, he definitely has to go for this,
Spike
obviously, because it's
planted.
last round, but it doesn't seem like he has any real opportunities to get into it, and Draken just running around and spawn, maybe going for another knife kill.
And
get
gets a
lit.
knife kill. Oh
And
my
that's
god.
2 knives on the round and a 10-2 half for the Kings.
Switching
Absolutely
sides.
devastating if you're A5.
TKJ
And-
showing no respect and just, you know, showing their dominance to getting 2 knife kills that round. And I mean, I really feel like in this half, like A5, I mean, besides Frosty, they had notable players doing very well. Like, I mean, Alice on the Omen on Ascent was doing a phenomenal job. She held down sights on it by herself. She even had multiple clutches, but I feel like her utility usage isn't as good as it was in the last map. I feel like it's very underwhelming, especially with an Astra.
Yeah, it may be a little bit uncomfortable in the Astra. And, you know, if you're A5, you know, you're looking at your
We
kill
go.
distribution. Everyone's playing roughly similarly, and this can, you know, sometimes be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing because A5 understands that they are they are a relatively offense-sided, or a relatively Frosty-focused team. And here, A5 seems like they want to just full rush B, try to take these aim duels, and it looks like they're going to have full B site control, especially with this Viper wall, getting that Sage wall down.
Yeah, Draken
So
go
they're gonna
ahead and just TP out of there and give them full
Spike
control. And I
planted.
think the Kings just want to play a full retake here.
Yeah, Ironhide getting that pick on Artemis. Clinical is spotting the flanker, not really reacting to it. Experience getting the pick on Draken. But what's really important here is they still have the Sage wall, and unfortunately it doesn't come out
enemy
perfectly, but Big Shot getting that kill, leaving it in the situation. Big Shot getting the kill on Frosty with the 3k total in the round as Juhrama sticks the plant. I was gonna say, even in like an equal man situation, that Sage wall can be so strong, especially in that exact position. And that's an 11th round for the Kings, that pistol round. We're gonna see A5 probably go for the force buy. I don't think that they want to give up match point.
Yeah, that definitely. I mean, I think that they have to choose. Do you play for the overtime or do you play for just winning the round now and then snowball after? And from the looks of it, they're not buying heavily, and I think they're playing for overtime.
Seems like they are playing for overtime. Juhrama maybe playing a little bit aggressively here. He sees that
Alice.
body, not able to connect on the shot, but is going to get a very deep wall, taking full control of mid using that. Big Shot pushed in, gives up the kill to Clinical, maybe a little bit of a mistake, but they're going to walk right into the judge.
Maui with the judge gets a 3K, and then immediately gets taken out by Clinical. Maui
One
stopping the
enemy
push right in its tracks, and now it's down to Clinical. There with the frenzy, not being able to do anything else. And Ironhide getting that last frag for the match point round.
Match
Yeah,
point.
really huge play out of Maui. Having that judge playing close. A5 not even clearing it as they just pop through the smoke. I don't think they used a flash either. So maybe a little bit of a critical mistake and a very winnable round in that 5v4 situation. Maui getting that 3k and then massive amount of damage on the Clinical using that judge playing close. Unfortunately, A5 not able to deny match point.
Yeah, and it kind of has to feel bad, but I believe A5 has a good chance here, and they just need to get it together. Clinical pushing up, and Draken with the judge gets the pick onto Clinical and Experience, making this a 3v5 immediately. They know that there's someone on their flank, and they have to watch their flank. And Juhrama taking out Alice.
Eliminate.
Artemis
Artemis takes
trading
on
off Draken
Draken.
finally.
Yeah,
But you,
Frosty has full A-side control. Artemis is gonna bring Bomb in, and Juhrama almost dying to Frosty. Fortunately not. Frosty down to
Frosty.
16 HP, might get the Sage heal, but he dies to a single bullet here. Gets healed by the Sage.
Player standing.
Unfortunately, both Artemis and Frosty
Defenders
die,
win.
and the Kings take the map with a short but perfect defensive side.
Yeah, and like this game, this map was a blowout. I mean, 13-2 from the Kings of Drama, and I mean, this is the Kings that we've seen in the past during conference season. And I believe, like I said, they found their footing in second half of Ascent, and they're just bringing that momentum over here. And but the difference was, I think, that besides Frosty obviously being their best player, A5, and I mentioned before, Alice had so much good utility usage and so much support as well as Artemis and Clinical. Like it was huge with those arrows, along with the smokes of taking map control. But I felt like they never had any of that utility usage that gave them map control in this game. And I feel like this might just be a mix of like they're not being comfortable on these new agents that they probably haven't played that much on. And now I'm just wondering, are they gonna try go for more of these kind of plays where they have more strategic stuff, or they're just gonna play their based agents that they usually play. And I
Yeah,
think I don't know. I think A5 just needs to get it together and just play what's comfortable.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think A5 really wants to go back to their comfort picks here. They, played a lot of stuff that you just do not expect to see out of them, and it doesn't seem like it really fit their style. A5 having a very, very tight kill distribution, top fragger having 7, bottom fragger having 6, and that's, for a team that's had a very drastic difference in both ranks and skill, and honestly just wanting to really play towards their top end players, that is obviously really unfortunate for A5. And also, I don't think that they really utilized that utility that they decided to pick. Like you were saying, it doesn't seem like they were particularly comfortable. Maybe thinking, we should play some of the more meta stuff on Icebox without much practice on it, going off their foundation characters that they've been playing. And I don't think A5 really wants to play that style, but since they did, maybe we'll see on this map 3 going back to what they did in map 1, where they put up a very, very respectable showing. Even though they lost 9-13, they still played very, very well in that game. And I think that they want to go back towards what they've played well all season, and also what they just played well in map 1.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, for sure. I think besides noting that A5 playing, definitely underperforming compared to what I mean, you also have to just consider the Kings of Drama just played Icebox super well. I think Icebox, I believe I do remember them saying that Ascent was their best map, but I think Icebox is just looking like unstoppable for them. They have so many setups. They know exactly like Draken with the huge Yoru plays, being able to take map control with a single TP. He's just placing his TPs perfectly. He's taking map control, pushing one part of the map, and then once his teammates take, like for example, A site, he just TPs immediately and then makes it a 4v2 instead of a 3v2 whenever they're pushing site. So and he's just baiting and rotates sometimes. And I think as well as Juhrama going on the Sage, I mean he's just perfect utility. He's using his Sage while blocking off certain parts of the map, and it's just free map control completely. And I think Kings of Drama are just clearly on another level here, being able to use their utility like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They definitely seem like they have a much better plan coming into the game, and maybe a little bit, maybe a lot more prepared about what to do on the map. And A5, I don't want to say that they looked lost, but it might be fair to say that they looked a little lost on what to do, especially when they were losing. I feel like A5 maybe showed this problem a lot all season, where in wins they just have Frosty go in and kill everyone. And I think a lot of their losses, A5 really struggles. And honestly, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of their losses were blowouts where they just never really find their footing and never figure out what to do. And whatever contributes to that, I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not, listening to their comms or, breaking down every single one of their games. But I think A5 does have this problem where when they lose, they tend to lose pretty horribly, especially, maybe just losing a half really horribly, um, or anything like that. Whereas when I think they win is when they can just kind of go. They don't have to, super strategize. They don't have to fight for map control or play defaults. They can just go take as many aim duels as possible and win them. And I think they really, really struggle, like they did on Icebox here, where they have to find a solution to whatever's their problem is. And once they weren't able to find that, I feel like they really, really struggle to, put it together in a game and fix their problems on the fly.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that that'll be enough for the post game discussion here. We're gonna go ahead and cut to our next break. Thank you guys for joining the second map. Our third map will be, I believe, what was the third map night?
The third map will be Bind with A5 starting on defense.
There you go. Bind starting on defense. A5 starting defense. Um, we'll be right back after that break. So please give us a little 5 minutes, and I hope to see you guys right after this break. Later, guys.